I'm still wondering about that hat.
How about hats?
It's just such like a real thing. And like such a cartoony world. I think that's why it's like, oh, we should give him a hat so he'll appeal to the youth. What do you think of that spider's positioning, Michael?
I think that I probably should have sniped it instead of jumping into it like a dumbass.
Do you think you should have...
In fact, I'm gonna kill it right now.
You think you should have 360 no-scoped it?
Yeah.
You know what you should do? You should edit...
Splatoon, hashtag YOLO swag.
You should edit in hit markers every time you hit something. No, I'm just kidding. That'd take too much work for not enough funny stuff. Not enough funny points. We won't earn enough funny points with all of our gracious subscribers.
all 163 of them.
That's not zero.
Yeah, it's...
You gotta chin up, Jack.
I mean, it's better than we had I think last year we only had like 50. So
yeah,
we're getting that. We're getting.
Well, it's a saturated market. Let's be honest.
Yeah. I mean, like, people already have their established Let's Pull channels.
Let's pull
this game out of our ass.
That was such a AVGN type joke.
Yeah.
So that's it. You're just done. Wasn't there more stuff up there?
That's it.
Nope. It's done. It's Mulver. I like how
that was a good one.
I like how no matter what shitty pun I say, you'll always be like,
all puns are shitty.
Found you a dragon.
Oh, well, some of them are shittier than others, though.
Fresh air and look for something even better.
That sounds like something moles would like. You know, a mole doesn't want to stay underground all the time. Sometimes it wants to get up.
There's more? What the fuck? I can see how this game is gonna be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, there's 10
Let's
this
go
time.
back in and do it again. Except this time, there are 10. Do you guys see how this game is going to work?
Michael, if there's 2 times as many MacGuffins, it must be twice as fun. That's true. You can't argue with that.
Yeah,
That's
it's
science.
I just did this already, but no, let's do it again.
Dr. Oz once said, video games are going to destroy your brains, so we gotta believe him. Fuck Dr. Oz. I think he's one of the worst human beings on this planet.
Even worse than Vladimir Putin?
No, Vladimir Putin's cool. Communism is cool. Well, you know.
But
that moment when you realize that you just said communism, when they have been communism for what, 30 years? 40 years?
Yeah, pretty long actually.
I don't know why I said that. Are they a republic? Or
yeah, they're
a representative democracy.
Yeah, supposedly.
Supposedly. Slash Putin's little playpen. Files the Pancho Shrek. I feel like we should play that game on this channel.
What game?
World at War. You don't think Call of Duty World at War? You don't think your audience would love that game?
I don't know. Maybe they will. If it means more subscribers, maybe.
Yeah, we want to attract the COD.
Yeah, we want to attract the COD.
Granted, out of the COD army, the COD militia.
Yeah, it's like the militia from
I'm not sure if that follows
Infamous
union rules. Infamous.
Yeah,
that's a game. That game is weird.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Can I just say I was super surprised at that because I thought it would be pretty serious. I mean, you know, superpowers or whatever. But what really code? Yeah, running up the stairs. That sucks donkey balls.
Oh, that's right. Zeke was
Zeke. He was
best.
He was funny.
And then he like betrayed Cole like 3/4 of the way through the game, but then it turns out that he
thought it was for the world's own good. It wasn't an evil betrayal. It was.
I think he wanted powers, and that
it was sort of a selfish. But he realized his wrongs. He grew. There was character development.
Yeah, there was.
It was a beautiful.
And wasn't that a focus of the second game? It's just like, why don't you trust me, Cole?
Yeah, it was. I feel like the second one took itself too seriously. I mean, it's not like the first one didn't take itself kind of seriously. But the second one was like, what does it mean to have powers? What is it?
And then the Beast turned out to be a black guy.
That's true. Wait, did he?
Yeah, well, he was
I
for
haven't
part
played-
of the game.
I haven't played the second one. Well,
Yeah, you did. You like.
I mean,
almost 100%
I was about to say in a while, in a long time.
While.
But you haven't played it at all, have you?
I watched you play a good chunk of it.
Yeah, you watched
Oh, wait,
me play.
I better.
I platinumed the first
I better
one.
scope the spiders before I go over there, so that they don't knock me off the fucking ledge.
You better snipe them. Pull out your Barrett 50 cal.
Well, I guess I missed the giant floating clump of dirt.
Hold on.
You heard me.
That can go on the tombstone.
That's what this thing looks
Yeah,
like. A
that's-
giant floating tombstone.
Michael Xander, cause of death. Missed the giant floating clump of dirt. Fell into the abyss. Was eaten by the little blue dinosaurs and spiders.
The little blue dinosaur that could.
You know, I think I've read that book before. Didn't it get adapted into a kid's show?
I think it got adapted into a movie starring Danny Trejo and
Ariel Winter.
and Ariel Winter.
That happened.
Wake up, sheeple.
What other actors can we have in our movie? That's based off the
How about
Mexican
Nicolas
mafia.
Cage? Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, he would be
He's like
hilarious.
so.
kids would love him.
Here's the plot of our movie.
Okay,
There's
what's our
a giant
movie?
floating clump of dirt.
Okay,
But-
is he the protagonist or the antagonist?
He's the sealed.
Look at
evil
that
in-
fall.
he's
Did
the
you see
sealed-
that falling animation?
No, he's the sealed evil in a can.
Well,
You know that trope, right? You've gone on TV tropes.
I've gone. Yes, I've definitely been on TV tropes. But if you explain it to me, then I'll be like,
Sealed
oh, yeah.
evil in a can is just like, oh, there's this ancient evil that's just been unleashed.
Oh, I see. Yeah, I know. I totally know what you're talking about now.
And usually it's related to some kind of ultimate MacGuffin.
Yeah,
That's also a Chekhov's gun.
that in the end is able to combat the
Yeah.
ancient evil.
Well, what
The
happens
sequel
is
to Ancient Aliens.
is that
Yeah. Oh, that's the other actor who can have in a movie, Giorgio Tsoukalos.
yeah,
The
And
Ancient
then-
Aliens
And
guy.
he'd be like, the giant floating clump of dirt is actually an alien.
But you know how we haven't been able to definitively find life on Venus? That's because it all moved onto the giant clump of dirt, and it's slowly going to move over, blot out the sun, and take over the Earth. The evidence is all there. We found it in an old Egyptian pyramid. Which,
Wake up, sheeple.
because they would know. But seriously, there is there's like no evidence. It's all nonsense in that show. But anyway, this isn't
Well, to be fair,
Eric's review of-
Republicans think that global warming doesn't exist, even though there's plenty of evidence of that.
Did you really just break that one out of the bag? There's a lot of idiots that don't believe. I believe that there's plenty of Democrats who don't believe global warming.
I
exists.
seriously doubt it. It's really like a bourgeois thing. Like
Listen,
the
you.
bourgeoisie don't
Listen,
wanna have
you.
to pay
Listen, you. We're playing
the-
Spyro Hero's Tale. We're talking about a movie where there's a giant floating clump of dirt, which is the ultimate antagonist. And you're gonna break out the whole, well, if you look at the themes of the bourgeoisie over the past 30 years, you'll find that the social and so on and so forth. I know since that's something you do a lot, you'll be playing the most silly, mundane games, and then you'll be like, the American government, it should be abolished
I never said that.
and replaced with the giant floating clump of dirt as our
I've got a
executive
clump
branch.
of dirt. I've got a clump of dirt.
Okay, so what's the name of our movie? Starring Danny Trejo, Ariel Winter, just because she was in that realistic
and then what
Dora
happens is
college humor
that
thing. Giorgio Tsoukalos,
yeah, they
Nicolas Cage.
after a Giorgio
And the-
Tsoukalos gets eaten by the clump of dirt.
So, let me guess, that marks the beginning of Act 2,
Yes.
where the tensions start rising.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Okay.
just like, oh shit, this clump of dirt is serious.
That's when the civilians start to really panic, and you see people out in the street yelling at the city hall, and they're like, please, we've got this under control. The clump of dirt will not come and eat your firstborn. And then all of a sudden,
it will help if you slather some lamb's blood on the top of your door.
no, hold on. As he's saying that,
No!
as he's saying that, a big shadow is cast over him. He turns around. Giant clump of dirt in the sky. People of Earth. You have 24 hours to vacate the planet. You have been warned.
How am I supposed to get back up there?
You know what? Who else needs to be in this movie? Will Smith, because that's sort of
because
like
of
Independence Day. And everybody likes Will Smith. He's the one who saves our game for us.
You know what? We'll balance it out and make the movie unlikable. You know what will balance the movie out and make it unlikable is if we also have Jaden Smith in the movie.
Yeah, of course.
And then we'll have Willow Smith Smith show up towards the end, and then she'll whip her hair back and forth to ward off the clump of dirt.
Because there's dirt in her hair and it's trying to affect her.
She's doing like a
No. No, what happened was, you know how the...
Oh, Jesus.
You know how there's also that trope where one of the good guys gets corrupted by the ancient power?
Yeah.
And then it's at the end of the movie, in order to save the world, they have to purge, to overcome the ancient power. She does that by whipping her hair back.
Did you see what Spyro's doing there?
No.
He was just like...
I didn't see. It sounds funny though.
Nothing else of value down there. But any excuse to go underground is fine by me.
Oh, so he did want to be underground.
Fuck off.
So I was making my joke about how he wanted to go up top, get some sunlight and some coffee from Starbucks. That wasn't actually that wasn't valid. So that was really fun.
It wasn't bad. I mean, it was kind of annoying that you have to do it twice. And that
well, you didn't have to do it twice in a row, though.
Yeah, I suppose everything's. But the way I see it is that if everything in a game is optional, then nothing is. Now,
let me just wrap my head around that little motif. Okay,
what I mean by that is that if you're gonna make a game where everything is optional, that doesn't.
In order to get your thing, your fill, to get satisfaction out of playing the game.
Well, there's that, but there's also the fact that, like, if you're gonna make it so where a bunch of stuff is optional, then that doesn't, like, excuse you from making a bunch of stuff really annoying, you know?
Oh, so just because it's optional doesn't mean you can't be good.
His name is Fredneck.
Okay, that's pretty funny. What's his voice?
I don't know. We keep talking over the cutscenes.
These dang swamp critters keep running off with my food. I ain't had
Now, what does this remind me of? It reminds me of Jack and Daxter.
Reward in it for you if you can run these foul critters here off my land. I got these old
Look, I'm serious. There was an NPC.
I do it myself,
Yeah, be
but the
careful.
smell of
Sorry,
gunpowder
kill the
makes
capture.
me-
Speaking of which, we should probably start a new session pretty soon after this. After we help out Fredneck.
We'll finish our movie script later.
So protect Fredneck's supplies. There is literally a mini game just like this in Jack and Daxter.
I feel like this came from an era of video games where there's a mini game like this in every single.
But there was literally exactly like this in Jack and Daxter.
Wasn't there something exactly like this in Sly Cooper, the second one, or something like that?
Probably.
It's just
I
a
don't
turret
remember.
section.
I mean, there were lots of turret sections in this era.
People were obsessed with turret section. I don't know what it was.
I think Sly 2 even came out the same year as this.
This is definitely from that exact era of PS2 sort of games and GameCube games where they had.
Speaking of which, we're playing this on the GameCube if you couldn't have already figured that out by the buttons.
Why'd you say that with such hatred? You couldn't already figure it out. Stupid
Well, usually when I make comments like that, you're just like, they couldn't tell that by themselves, Michael. You have to tell them.
That's because you don't think things through when you say them. You just say whatever nonsense comes to your head.
And what
like
comes
Carl
out of my
Pilkington,
ass,
my hero.
like the fart that came out just now.
Doubt shall not come out with a fart, for then you will be a black shark.
thou proceeds to 3.
Oneth, 2,
Well, I guess we
a 3. That's what you're doing, right? You weren't making a Monty Python reference. You were referencing the owl. Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take to get to the center of... No, stop right there. We can't talk about that with the police nearby.
Dang shell on this thing's hard as a rock.
I love how this guy is animated when he talks.
Hey, why don't you try
Look
it
at that.
again and see if you might win your right, Jim?
Such a spaz.
So it's like, okay, you play the easy version of the minigame to get a dragon egg, then you play it again to get a light gem.
I get the feeling that that's going to be a
recurring theme in this game.
It's going to be a trope. God, a TV trope.
No, what? Did that bat just drop a bomb on the food? No, wait a sec. Why does this guy just have a big pile of food just sitting out for
I left my apple and banana pile out again. Can you protect it with my Gatling gun? Like, why does Fredneck have a giant turret to protect his bananas? This can be a part near the end of our movie, right? When it shows,
it's like the final showdown with the clump of dirt.
Yes, and all of the recurring character. Nicolas Cage plays Fredneck, and all of the recurring characters use their own skills to combat. It's like the end of the, like it's like an Avengers movie basically, and they're fighting, and it shows different scenes.
Except instead of Ultron, it's a giant clump of dirt.
Yeah, giant clump of dirt. I am more powerful than all you mortals, but we have teamwork. And then Danny Trejo will be. Who does Danny Trejo play in our movie?
He's the he's the Hispanic stereotype that always has like a knife in his mouth.
Oh, so like not the funny Hispanic stereotype.
Not Ernie from George Lopez, no.
No, not the funny one, but the scary one.
Yeah, the scary one.
With the scar and the knife in his teeth, and he says the typo says.
Think his character from Predators.
I think you wandered into the wrong place, yo. And stuff like that. Bandido. Yeah, but there you go. Something more offensive.
Fredneck will be happy. That is such a dumb fucking name.
I like
what kind of googly juice were they on when they came up with that?
Boogly juice? You made that up, you monster.
Take this here light, Jim,
did
for
you just say
trouble.
Vittles? You saved my Vittles.
I thank you from the cockles of my
If you're
heart.
having fun, you can go again.
Vittles is definitely in the same category as cockles.
I think I heard our dad say that once. Does that surprise you?
No.
But then again, he's the one who said, it's colder than a witch's titty out here.
He is,
He's a Fredneck.
He is two different men packed into one, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Because he's a smart guy.
Oh, yeah.
Then he'll go and totally redneck on us. That's true.
We can pretty much say whatever we want about him, because it's not like he's ever going to watch this.
It's not true. He's watching right now. Hi, Dad! I want to raise.
Hello, son. I am your father. You must remember me.
Oh, so that's what you were going
Yeah.
for. That's funny, because at first I thought you said, I am your father. I thought Darth Vader.
Well, it's
which
the same
is funny.
Actor.
Which is funny.
It's James Earl Jones
person.
either way, but...
And it's also funny because, as we know from this video that Michael will link you to, you are Simba.
Oh, that's right.
That's true. It's true.
I forgot.
You are. That's true. Actually, don't link. I want people to be able to find it.
Is that floating on nothing? That island over there? I don't know why
it comes from the same planet as the giant floating clump of dirt.
I suppose.
It's his what do you call it? Lieutenant. It's Lieutenant.
Why am I only allowed to carry one of these things at a time?
Cause it's heavy. Look at it.
It's a little fucking key.
Yeah.
I can't carry more than one of those?
Yeah. It's not like Spyro has pockets.
Yeah,
I bet you didn't think of this game. This game has an encumbrance engine. I have a question for you, Michael. Because you have a more classic look at things. You like different games than I do. And a lot of games that I can think of that are super popular, like, for example, Bethesda games or something like that, always have really, there's always a lot of encumbrance. I'm a wordsmith, I know. But what do you think of the idea of encumbrance?
And like you can only hold this much items.
Yeah, before you run out of space.
I mean, I really haven't played much games that have that.
But just in theory. I mean, obviously it's an annoyance, but is it like a realistic, immersive annoyance?
If you upgrade it? Usually, because if you can, then that's probably okay.
Usually over time, but not by a whole lot. Because it's sort of like an immersion thing. It sort of makes it harder or is annoying. but it also makes it so that you get some more realistic feeling and stuff like that. Which is why it's less. You're not going to see in Mario game he can only hold so much shit.
Mm-hmm.
Versus, supposedly trying to be a more immersive game like per se Skyrim or something like that.
Right.
Where there's lots of things to collect, but it doesn't want you just taking everything.
Well, there's a lot of shit to collect in this game, Eric.
That's true. Where does he keep all of his gems?
He keeps it in his
pouch.
Oh.
Fun fact, did you know that dragons are marsupials? That's true.
Looks like there's a light gem in there the whole time.
There's something Metroid Prime 2-esque about this game. I know you don't follow me there.
I mean, like, it is technically a Metroidvania game. Like, you explore a giant area and collect new abilities, and along the way you collect MacGuffins that allow you to unlock more shit.
I suppose. I
mean, that's technically what Attack of the Rhinox was as well. It was very Metroidvania-esque. Well, that game was more collect-a-thon-ish than this game was, because the levels were still structured like levels from...
This isn't very collect-a-thon-y, though. It doesn't
no.
as...
You solve puzzles to get light gems, and you talk to NPCs to get light gems and stuff. It's a collect-a-thon.
But just... only in the way that everything's sort of a collect-a-thon.
I mean, like, Banjo-Kazooie and Tooie are a lot, like... More Tooie, I guess.
I don't know. This feels slightly less collect-a-thon-y. This feels more like, oh, I just want to get to the end.
Well,
you might need to collect things
linear,
to get
though.
there.
It's non-linear. You explore.
Yeah, but that doesn't make it a collect-a-thon.
Right. Well, what would make it a collect-a-thon, Eric? You collect MacGuffins to progress.
Exclusive goal is collecting something.
All right. And you're collecting things in this game.
Only reason you're collecting some things is to get through obstacles. And that happens in every game.
Exactly. I mean, like, the only real difference between this and the old ones, well, was first of all the interconnected levels. There's that, and Banjo-Tooie had that, and that's obviously
it feels like less of a collect-a-thon than the other ones.
That's definitely true.
And more.
I will agree with that.
Maybe it's just because I'm comparing it to the most collect-a-thon-y collect-a-thons like Banjo-Kazooie and the other Spyros and other collect-a-thons of this era.
Mm-hmm.
So I suppose in that way, it's more of a collect-a-thon than something like Sly Cooper. It's less of a collect-a-thon than the other games.
Oh, there's a light
it's
up there.
It's a spectrum, is what it is. It's Spectrum-esque.
Expecto Patronum.
That's
anyway.
true. That's a true thing you just said. Avada Kedavra.
That's a bad word.
Fuck you, right? Fuck you, whatever. That was a good joke.
Wasn't that the whole thing? Was that it was like a curse word in that universe?
It wasn't a curse word. It was
a curse.
It's one of like the forbidden spells.
Exactly. So it was like a swear word.
It wasn't like you saying "fuck you." It was literally you can do this and kill somebody.
Yeah.
Don't you think there'd be so many more murders in that world if it were that easy?
Yeah, I think so. I think what they did though was they had like a. It has been like an eternity since I've read those books.
Same with me. But
I think in the 5th one, they established that there's like a spell that they put on people so that they know what spells that they cast.
So J.K. Rowling made up some nonsense to cover it up.
I think it was a plot point.
Make it more feasible.
What they do is they try to make sure that people outside of the students when outside of Hogwarts don't use magic, so they have like a charm on them that tells the Ministry of Magic, and then but it's just so it was supposed to wear off after a certain point, and so once it got to a certain point in the series, Harry was just like, okay, I need to use magic to stop the Death Eaters and stuff. So he starts to use it, but he still gets found out by the Ministry of Magic, so he's just like, oh, I think that the charm is still active, and that's why they know what I'm doing, even though it's supposed to be out. So that's what I remember anyway. It's been, like I said, it's been a while.
So, like I said, J.K. Rowling made up some shit.
Well, that's what you do when you write.
I guess.
I mean, I don't think it's like pulling a...
I guess I'm just a tad cynical.
Yeah.
Just a tad.
I think maybe you're just
a toad.
stoned.
Yeah, I'm just stoned right now. I've been, as they've been saying, chiefing and schneefing.
What?
Well, chiefing is a real thing. I don't think schneefing is. Michael doesn't know the lingo of the streets like I do. Hey, bro, do you want to go light up a doobie? Would you like to take a hit of that roach? Huh? Huh? Yeah, Michael?
Did you hear that sound?
No.
Oh,
I can see the cartoon stars pop out of your head.
I could have swore it made a sound effect. But I don't know.
You just landed on the matrices.
Okay.
So, can you guys tell that Michael has no clue what the fuck he's doing?
Oh, I've been making progress, I think.
It just feels like you've been wandering around in circles. It's Nicolas Cage. We never did stop the thing.
What thing?
The recording.
Oh, that's right. I said that I wanted to do that.
Did you want to do that now?
Yeah, why don't we head back towards this area?
Head back to the city.
Yeah, we're gonna...
The perilous pyramid, if you will. What are the little fire things in the upper left-hand corner?
I think that you can switch breaths in this game, like...
But why does it say number 2?
Because I have 2 of those rocket things.
Oh.
Alright, so we're gonna see you guys in the next part.
Oh my god, I forgot how horrifying Sparks looks in this game.